Freelancer.com. That's the name of the freelance website, which I have used multiple times in the past 6 years as an entrepreneur for multiple reasons. So, welcome back, guys. This is Money is Blind podcast, the ultimate show on the internet where blind and visually impaired can learn entrepreneurial skills. I'm your host, Prasoon, and today I'll be talking about my experience with Freelancer.com. Apparently, there is another site, Freelancer.in, which is supposed to be the Indian version of Freelancer. But I found more success with the .com website. So I first used Freelancer.com when I was trying to design a logo for my blog, beingthedoctor.com. I had my cousin build a beautiful logo. When I look back, I think the one that he designed, it was better. It was a short form of Being the Doctor, that is a small letter B, T, and D. So apparently we can use the small letters of B and D. They are like the mirror images, right? And a T will come in between both B and D as a cross. So that's how he had designed it, and I pretty liked it. But then I decided to change my mind and went in search of a freelancer who could design it for a fee, because my cousin, he was doing it for free, and he was trying to help me, and I wanted something better, and so I found an Argentinian on freelancer.com, and I think I paid him 22 or 24 US dollars that time. This is back in 2013, 10 years ago, right? And he designed a logo with a person's silhouette and stethoscope, and the letters being the doctor written in 2 lines, and I kind of liked that one at that time. But now that it is 10 years from that date, I don't like it. So yeah, that's how I started using Freelancer. And the payment system, the Freelancer takes a part of the bounty. No, the fee that we pay them. It's not the bounty. What I meant was the fee. So they take a part of the payment, and they keep it with them, and they release the payment to the freelancer once the work is completed. And the way that freelancer understands that the work is completed is when we tell them. So there are several ways of how a payment can be done to a freelancer. Actually, it is decided when the project is created. You can pay the freelancer by hour on an hourly basis, or you can keep it at a fixed rate. Most of the time, most of the work that I have created, most of the projects that I created on Freelancer, I have kept a fixed rate, because it is difficult to track all the hours, and I think most of the freelancers, they tend to exaggerate the amount of time they spend on a project, and the quality would be much less. So I think the commitment also would be much less if we go for an hourly basis. So we can decide on the payment method when you're creating the project. Then the other projects that I remember, which I created using Freelancer, and I did get good responses. I think for the logo, I got more than 200 responses, and none of those projects were sponsored. When I say sponsored, it simply means that I haven't spent any money in Freelancer to advertise this project to all the freelancers out there. It was just a standard project, which means only freelancers who happen to see the project that I created will apply for the job, and then I have a chat with them. I send them messages, and That's how I come to select my freelancers. At that time, I was not visually impaired, and I was able to do it myself. But ever since Dofody, I think ever since Dofody was launched, I have been using Freelancer, of course, with the help of my personal assistant, who reads the screen like a screen reader to me. And yeah, there are several questions that I ask him, and that's how I decide on which freelancer to go for. So the country of origin, the star ratings, good star ratings are a must. I read through the reviews. I often check their previous work and ask them to share links to their previous work if they have any. And yeah, how long they have been on the website, and how they have been faring so far with the job completion rate. And there's so many metrics that you can dig up in Freelancer. And of course, I'm not talking about just Freelancer. There are so many other websites like Upwork, Fiverr, so many of them, and most of them have all these matrices, but with different names, of course. So this in this episode, I'll be focusing mainly on freelancer.com. So ever since I started Dofody, the online doctor consultation platform, of which I'm a founder, I've used Freelancer multiple times. Some of the occasions which I remember include writing a privacy policy, then terms and conditions with the help of a lawyer. Then, recently I used Freelancer. I think that was after starting Money's Blind podcast. I think it was for installing Mautic email marketing software in one of our servers. I need to reconfigure it, and for that I'll need another freelancer to do that job. I have created projects for marketing, creating graphic designs, for designing the first brochure, the first PDF brochure for Dofody, which I then decided to print 2000 such short brochures, and it was mainly for distributing in a job fair, and I was able to distribute almost 400 of those flyers, but the remaining, it is with me. I think it's in the attic of my house somewhere, lying there in dust, maybe rotten, I don't know. So other occasions, for designing the user interface of the iPhone app, the first version that we designed, it was with the help of a developer in freelancer.com. I think he was also from Kerala, but finally I decided to ditch that app and then rebuild the app from scratch once again. We also used it to hire a Python developer. I was crazy at that time. Back in 2019, I wanted my website to be in Python, because I knew nothing about coding, and I was trying to learn Python. Yeah, you won't believe it. I tried to learn Python, the computer language, and I think I covered the basic lessons. There was a course in Coursera, and I completed first 10 chapters, and then it was mostly for the core, learning the core of Python, so that I could conduct interviews, so that we can hire Python developers for the long-term project in-house. And we did. Emil Johnson, that was his name. We hired a developer. He came, he worked with us for 4-5 months, and then he left, and that project is still there. I spent 50 to 70,000 rupees, $1,000 on that project, which You won't believe how much money I wasted on Adobe trying different things and learning from all the mistakes. Yeah, and before hiring Emil, I had a freelancer who was a Python developer. Yeah, there's so many occasions in which I have used freelancer, and today I created two more projects in freelancer.com. First one was to look up at a PHP developer, a backend developer whom we can hire on an hourly basis because it's a constant work. And there's a specific framework of PHP. By the way, PHP is another programming language. And yeah, my co-founder has been hiding under the rocks. He's kind of busy right now, and I want to get the work done. And so, yeah, I posted a project in Freelancer. You can find it in freelancer.com. And the second one was to write my book. I talked about my book in the last episode. You can scroll down and see that episode there. So, apparently, I got a bid from someone named Summer. I don't think that's the original name, by the way. She said she is originally from Manchester, but she's in India right now. I don't know. But I got a bid to write my book if I provide all the details. Because I wanted my book to be based on this podcast, some of the episodes, yeah, and some other chapters that I already written. So for that help, I got a bid for 37,500 rupees, which is like 450 US dollars. And this project was a fixed price project. So this idea I got when I posted those two projects today evening with the help of my personal assistant. No, I haven't tried freelancers applications on iOS or Android. This one was all these two projects. These were created on the web with the help of my personal assistant, and I am not sure whether these websites are accessible or not. So if you're blind or visually impaired, get help, hire a personal assistant, or ask someone for help to create your projects. And before you hire your first freelancer, there are certain things that you need to check, and that is a topic for another episode. On that note, I'm signing off. Talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys take care. Bye bye.